Hi all. So I've been working on a crocheted sloth. I found this pattern online and I suspected it was AI. I was, I think, right. It's written well. So this is what I got following the pattern minus the claws. The claws are chain in the pattern. I'm not doing that. I'm actually going to do something different. This one's following the pattern exactly. It does not look like anything like the pattern. The pattern in question has this part going further and looks like it was stitched down. This is more of an oval instead of a bar, which again, AI. There's no way that's not AI and someone took credit for it. Don't agree with that. The face looks like crud. I personally don't like it. However, not mine. So if the person wants this one, that's what they'll get. This is the one that I started to modify. I used safety eyes and then did a eyebrow or eyelid so it looks more of a droopy face. Now, the claws, like I said, what it said to do is to hook through where I want all three, or where I want the claws, crochet up 9, then slip stitch back down. And in the picture it's a rounded claw. So this will just be a chain thing, and it no, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. Now, I did not have the right shade of brown in a weight 4. So what I'm doing is using two brown baby yarns, and pulling them together. When I'm doing this, I have to make sure that I'm not splitting my stitches, which is a bit of a pain. Now, I say it a lot. I use stitch markers and I weave my ends in. So, what I'm going to do, I'm pretty sure if you've gone to my Facebook page, you have seen Appa. I rewrote a pattern to do that. The original pattern is a dragon pattern that I use the head for and the body size for. I changed it completely because the pattern I used had horns, legs as part of the first thing and not multiple pieces. So, what I'm going to do for the claws is the same as Appa's horns, except there's not going to be a curve. Really easy. So, magic ring or chain, either way works. So if you're doing a chain, it's going to be a chain 3, and then you're going to do 3 single crochets into that first chain, and then chain up and keep working. The other method is magic circle, chain, or 3 single crochets into the magic circle, slip stitch, and then go up. Now I will recommend, if you, for that point, you can keep going at 3, or you can do an increase and go 4, which will be a little easier when you are crocheting it around. And it won't take away from the size. That extra stitch will save you a headache. So, where I move this down. So, chain 1. What's that? Chain 1, got the first single crochet in, so I'm going to pull it slightly tight. I am not using a locking stitch with this yarn because I am using 2 yarns at once. So there's 3, pull it tight, fold it, go into the top of the first one, so you have the tip of the claw. Chain 1 to give you your height. This is rows instead of rounds. Now the difference means a row, even if they're treating it like a round, there's going to be a chain up, where a round, it's all consistent. You still need stitch markers and everything. The difference will be a seam, and if it's worth your headache or not. Now, some people, I typically, as you see on this, I do the chain method, where I chain up one. Now, that's just how I do it. It makes it go faster. It gives me less of a headache. Okay, so second row we're going to do, because like I said, save yourself the headache, do 1 single crochet, do increase. So this row will have 4, and then single crochet. Now, when I'm working with it, I have a bad tendency of making it flattish. So when I go to slip stitch, I have to pull it up and make sure it stays tight. The reason I say it's a bad thing is because it will kind of make a weirdness on that first thing. This is not being stuffed. There is no way to stuff it this small. So there's my start of the claw. And now I'm just going to single crochet around, and I'm going to have 9 rows. And you're done. So I haven't cast off yet. That's 6 rows. Again, pay attention when you look at AI. That is more than long enough for what I need. So 6 rows. Hope it helps. I will post the link of the pattern I used on this. Like I said, I am fairly certain it's AI because this face does not look like the pattern that it's claiming to be. The rest of the body looks fine. The face does not. And anyone that looks at patterns, this is exactly what it tells me to do. And like I said, with modifying it, it worked. But it doesn't look like the pattern itself. So, I will link it if you want my help. Like I said, the only modification I'm really doing is this. And how I did the eyes. I used safety eyes and then just kind of went in and filled it in so it was a droop.